next act isn't actually from Peterborough, but she's from Cambridge, which is much posher and nicer than Peterborough, so we let her join our group. She's also one of our only published poets. Ooh, excellent wooing on cue. Can we have a massive round of applause for J.S. Watts?
Thank you for the woo. Now I feel that as a fringe show we are lacking something, which is the plug to go and buy something after the show. So it falls to me to fill that hole. As Sandra said, I've got a collection out already, Cats and Other Myths, available in good bookshops and Amazon. But more importantly, I have a new poetry pamphlet out, launched as soon as the Edinburgh Fringe is over, called Songs of Steelyard Sue. And oh look, I've got an advanced copy, and I've got some with me should anyone want to buy them. But anyway, today I'm going to do 4 poems from this dimension. I've got a new pamphlet. I'm going to do 4 poems from that. But I better tell you a little bit about what it's about. It's a poetry sequence, kind of an everyman sequence. So it takes your everyman character through birth and the vicissitudes of life and death. Although, if you may have noticed, if I mentioned the title, Songs of Steelyard Sue might give the game away. It's not really an everyman. In fact, she's an every woman, and if I'm being really picky, she's an every mechanoid female, because Steelyard Sue is a robot, you see. But anyway, she perhaps doesn't have a birth, but she has a making, and she goes through various vicissitudes, and she comes to her end. So I'm going to pick you 4 poems from that life cycle, which should in theory tell you something about humanity and how we live, but will tell you a lot about mechanoid females, if nothing else. And we're going to start with the making of Steelyard Sue, because I said she's not quite born, she's made. The only thing I probably need to explain, and I better check first, are there any Welsh speakers in the audience? Few. The first Welsh word badly spoken at the beginning, Blodeuwedd, relates to Welsh mythology. And if you don't know your Welsh mythology and you haven't read Alan Garner's The Owl Service, Blodeuwedd was a creature of myth, a lady made from flowers to be the wife of a god king. But they made her with a brain, and she kind of decided she didn't want to be the floozy made of flowers. She wanted her own lover, and she tried to kill her husband, and it didn't work out well, and as punishment they turned her into an owl. So now you understand the myth. This is the making of Steelyard Sue. Of me, no one will tell stories. Small birds are wary, scarecrow of the rubbish heap. But at night, a thing with yellow saucers for eyes and hooks for feet perches within my lonely ribs and shrieks defiance at the moon. You may have pulled. So, we move on. Steelyard Sue doesn't learn to fly, but you'll have to buy the book to find out why. But as ever, as in life cycles, sex rears its ugly head. And this one is Steelyard Sue wants a man. I may be just a metal woman, rust for brains, but hot lubricant courses through these tubes. I want more than a battery-powered thrust between my legs. I am looking for love, a man to ignite my jets. But no one with an ounce of fresh gristle wants to be held in my solid grasp. They run as if rocket-powered. I thought I'd build me a man, all pistons and genuine aluminium 6-pack. I collected the parts, drew up the schematics, but though everything functioned, went down and up as needful, I could never find the place to install real lasting love. It wasn't long before he left me for a vending machine. I think I might try again someday to build me a metal mate, a man with big pistons and a sense of fun. But first I need to work out where you put the love and how you keep it there so it doesn't fall out or corrode or snap, unless you want it to after one bend too many. So, after the sex, what normally happens? Well, apart from the fact the bloke buggers off. No, we're going to have a baby, I'm afraid. But again, she's a mechanoid female, so Steelyard Sue builds a baby. The year was turning warmer, and I was feeling strangely empty, unfilled, you might say. Hollow winds blew through my darkest places. I found this loose screw, swallowed it whole, just in case, like a pill or a seed. And 9 hours later, things were rattling in cavities I'd forgotten existed. My outer casing screw unpleasantly tight. I took a screwdriver and a wrench to them. My platings ripped open and out popped this thing, like a chicken from an egg. Well, like a chicken without wings, or feet, or a beak, or a head, come to that, but like a chicken anyway, made of metal, without his springs and a chicken feather. Mama, it said, but I wasn't convinced. It clamped itself to the nearest protruding nut and tried to suck. Not that it got much joy, robots don't lactate. But I gave it some WD-40 to keep it quiet. It seemed happy enough. That was 48 hours ago. Now it's as big as the Eiffel Tower, built from girders and cogs and springs and the odd stray feather. I still don't know what happened or why, but I call it baby, just the same. There's space inside I can curl up in at night to keep the dark rain off, and it positively drips lubricant. It's good to its old mama. I shan't be wanting for spare parts. The life in Steelyard Sue's world is not all fun and games, so we'll end on a slightly darker, kind of internal moment. This is Morning Song. I'm feathers and flowers, iron and rust, the red of the rising sun as she is torn between sky and earth, maker and maid, the song and the singer. A half-life clawed back from humankind's detritus, abandoned evening junk reclaiming dawn's existence. Never young, but not old enough to float on the wings of history into yet another iron-clad morning that will inevitably spear the day to its solid steel core. Scraps of rags flutter in the morning breeze. Let time begin, continue, repeat. The heart's optimism always conquers reality. Thank you.